fellow collectors, and welcome to Long's Toys. Today we are taking a look at the Release and Rampage pack from the Jurassic World Dominion line from Mattel. I got this at Target. This was around $20. You can see we get kind of this large pen with an Atrociraptor, and then we have Sonia Santos, which is a character I'm not familiar with. I'm assuming she's a new character for the film. She comes with two little accessories here. I kind of really like the backdrop that they have included there. I think that's kind of neat. Spinning it around to the back, you can see that you have, I guess the door is capable of sliding up as well as being broken down by the raptor, so we'll have to check that out. And then we have Sonya here with the controller, and I'm assuming this is like a little taser weapon to kind of keep the dinosaur in line. And the dinosaur does have that little panel that slides out with the like QR code DNA thing where you can scan it with the app that they feature right there. So pretty standard packaging, but I think this one looks pretty cool. Gonna go ahead and get everything out of the box and we'll take a closer look. Alright, so here's everything you get in the packaging. I guess we'll start over here with the container, for lack of a better term. It's good, you know, pretty simplistic. It's just a box that you can hold dinosaurs in. They have some nice molded in detail, as you can see, all these rivets and things over here. The only thing is, I really do like how they've kind of done this design of having it all scratched and weathered. But to me, a container to hold a dinosaur would have the scratches on the inside while they're trying to get out. But I guess it's just kind of impossible to, one, put that detail in here, and two, you'd really never see it just because of the way this is made. So I get it. Put that on the outside where you can actually enjoy it. It does look pretty good. But it's a very basic, just kind of plastic container. There's not really much going on with it. You have the door here, which you can see has kind of like a little keypad, I'm assuming, to kind of open and close it. Again, we have some more scratches painted there on the front. And then you just take this door, and you can see it has these two little like clips on the top, and you just slide it in there. And then you can slide it all the way down. Now you can see it has these little indentations on the top, right here and here, so that when you slide it down, it will kind of click into those notches, which is nice. Also, it has notches on the bottom, so that when you raise it up, it'll kind of naturally stop there. You can just completely take it all the way out if you want. It's not really hard to do. The packaging shows like the dinosaur breaking out, and it has the door kind of like this. I was kind of hoping there was going to be some kind of feature where when it's in like this, it could pop out, but it can't really do that because it's in this track. I was thinking with these clips on the top that maybe there was some kind of way that you could like press them in or something and it would kind of blast out. Something like that might have been cool, but unfortunately it doesn't really do that. It's just kind of clips in, and it has those little notches so it'll stay up, or you can slide it all the way down and it'll clip into place there. But yeah, you can have a little window there so you can see the dinosaur inside, or you have this window here on the outside. Now, how this works, if I open this up again, if you put the dinosaur all the way in like this, the tail will kind of need to poke out that window in the back just because of how long it is. So to get him pretty much at the doorway here, you can kind of see him in there, and close that up, you kind of have to have the tail poke out a little bit. Or you can put him in the other way, and you can have, now you might have to put the arms down a little bit to get him closer to the window, but you can have just the head of the dinosaur poking out of that little window, and then you can close this up. I would imagine it's too narrow that they can't really turn around once they're in there. But if you wanted to just see, you know, the little head of the dinosaur poking out, I guess so they could feed them, or if they just want to be completely terrified because you have a dinosaur snapping at you as you walk past. But it does fit in there pretty nice, and that looks pretty cool. So I do like that a lot. So since we have been fiddling with him, let's go ahead and check out the Atrociraptor. He looks great. I really like him a lot. I love this design. Something about the face and the head looks very sinister. Like he's got an intelligence, like he's thinking something. He's thinking of eating you. Like, it looks really sinister. I love the red eyes. The mouth can open pretty wide, and you can see all the nice paint detailing in there. The teeth, the tongue, the sides of the mouth are all really nicely painted. It's a really nice wide mouth there. You have a hinge and a rotation in the neck. You do have a basic swivel for the arms, and then you have a basic swivel for the legs, and then you have a swivel here for the tail. And then, of course, you have this little piece right here that you can pop up that has the little QR code DNA thing there for the app, which is pretty cool. Now, when I first looked at this, I thought that this was ridiculously similar to the Raptor that came with the capture and crash truck. And it's similar. If anything, I think like he's kind of in the same pose. But if you start to look at it like piece by piece, you can see that the legs are definitely molded different. He's kind of got this like knee pad that he doesn't have. You can see how the knee is like a little bit higher up, or I guess a second knee. I don't know what you call this on dinosaurs, but the hands are definitely a little different. The face and the head are definitely sculpted differently. So it is a different mold. It's very similar, and you could be very easily tempted into thinking it's exactly the same thing. You can kind of see the backbone here is a little bit curved, and here it's a little bit more straightforward. But it is a new mold, so I think that's pretty cool. You can also put other dinosaurs in here, so if you want to go ahead and put this raptor in here, you might have to bend him down a little bit. This guy's kind of like streamlined. You can see how this raptor's head kind of goes up. I mean, of course we can angle it down a little bit, but it kind of stops at about there. You can see that this guy's kind of naturally in a more head down pose so that he can fit in and out of there a little bit easier. But you just might have to kind of play with the legs a little bit. But we should be able to get this in here. Maybe if I put... Well, this guy's proving difficult, but I promise you can get him in here. You just kind of have to angle him a little differently. Well, maybe he doesn't want to fit in there. I swear I had him in there before, but you kind of have to move him around. It's all about just kind of finding the placement of the legs. Because his neck is just kind of in a different natural position, it would be a little bit harder to get him in there. But you can definitely fit other dinos in there. So I just think that's kind of neat. I think even though they look very similar, it's definitely a different sculpt. And I just really like the design of this guy. You know, kind of the white with the brown stripes. And like I said, I really love the head and face design. It really looks creepy. Like, he really looks like he's formulating a plan. Very, very sinister. So I like that a lot. So we'll put him off to the side. And next up, we will take a look at Sonia Santos. Again, a character I'm not really familiar with, so I'm assuming she's new for this movie. Now, unfortunately, you can see that the paint on the face is definitely off on mine. The lips kind of start over here, but the painted lips are kind of off to the side, and the eyes are definitely misaligned as well. So, you know, she's kind of got a Picasso thing going on here. This is one of the problems with ordering toys online. You can't really look at these before you get them. I guess I could have scrutinized it a little bit further when I got it and then taken it back to the store, but, you know, it's a small 3 3/4 inch figure. I'll live. But that is a bit unfortunate. So the head can turn side to side. Limited a little bit by the hair. Doesn't really have any up and down movement. She does have the hinge in the shoulder as well as a rotation. And then we have a hinge and a rotation at the elbow. From the elbow down is one solid piece, so we don't have any hand articulation or anything like that. But you can see she does hold her accessories very well. She's got this little stun gun here. And then she's got this remote control. I'm assuming the remote control is to open and close the hatch. I'm assuming. I mean, otherwise she's just going to TiVo the big game. I don't really know. But it's a pretty decent little remote. It's got some buttons and things molded on there, so that's not too bad. She's got this kind of like soft rubber cloak or dress. Honestly, she kind of looks like she wants to be a Jedi with this garb. But it doesn't really get in the way of anything. You can still move the hips around. There is a hinge and a rotation here. So you can see it's limited a little bit. She probably would have a somewhat difficult time sitting in vehicles because of this. But you can kick out to the side, no problem. And then you do have a hinge and a rotation in the knees. And then from the knee down is one solid piece. You can see she's got kind of the heel thing going on. And she does have holes in the bottom of her feet. So it's a pretty cool looking figure, as long as you get one that the face isn't misprinted. Because that's a bit of a bummer. But maybe I'll just have her get eaten by dinosaurs. But yeah, it's a pretty standard figure. I think it looks good. Nice articulation for the figures that they've done for this size class. I really like like I said, it's almost like a Jedi garb. I kind of like that. Here, you know what? Hold on. Do I have a lightsaber handy? Here we go. Now she's ready to deal with dinosaurs. I feel like you could kit bash this into a fairly convincing Jedi. Well, not with the remote control. Well, I guess they do. They use technology, but that's kind of fun. I feel like you could definitely make... This is almost a fairly convincing Jedi costume. I like it. Anyway, put this off to the side. Give her this little taser thing back. So yeah, pretty decent little figure. The box, not really much to talk about. You know, it's nicely detailed for what it is, and it holds the dino nice. So if we put him this way... See, I feel like you'd want him to face this way because this is how he would break out, and that's kind of what they're going for. And you can still see him through the little slit here, but then you just have his tail, like, just wagging back and forth, which is weird. I feel like this window on the back is specifically so that the head can poke through, but then he can't really, like, break out the back with his tail, so I don't know. But I really like the dinosaur. I think he looks really cool, the Atrociraptor, which is a thing I didn't even know existed until this video. But apparently it is a real dinosaur. So I think it looks great. Like I said, really like the paint. Really like just the whole color scheme motif, the detailing, everything. And I absolutely love the head. So he's definitely the quote-unquote breakout of the set for me. See what I did there? Definitely my favorite part. And I think the figure's good. It's just unfortunate that mine's a little misprinted. But if you just look at it quick from far away, you can't really notice all that much. So it's really not that big a deal. And then, you know, you have your little crate here. I really just wish it had some kind of... I mean, I understand there's not really a space to put any kind of spring-loaded gimmick, especially to try to fit the dinosaur in there. It's not really going to work out. But even if it was just like a way, like maybe there was like a little hinge here instead of... Like, I do like the slide track, but maybe if... Because it almost feels like that was an idea, like these pieces are molded in here. And if the door just kind of like sat in there and then hinged up and down, then maybe he could kind of... You know, maybe you could squeeze up here or something and it would pop down, or you could just, you know, pop it down like he's breaking it. I don't know. I guess if it's not really a feature, don't sell it that way on the box. I guess that's really what I'm getting at. Because if you just want a cool little containment unit for your dinosaur, it's fine. You know, just don't really market it as like a breakout feature when it doesn't really have a breakout feature. I mean, unless I'm completely missing something, and feel free to yell at me and tell me I'm an idiot in the comments, because maybe I'm just completely missing a feature here, but I think this is how it's supposed to work. And the fact that that track there is like hard plastic makes me think that there's not really a way for this to kind of pop off. I think you just kind of have to simulate that he broke out with your imagination, which is fine. I get it. And like I said, I like how it has the natural, like, inclination to stop there because of those little notches. So I do like that. And then it definitely clips into place down there. So it's a fun set. I think this was $20. Like I said, I got mine online at Target, but I've seen it in stores as well. Maybe you want to check it out in store before you buy it. Make sure that the face on your figure isn't misprinted. I'm hoping it's just a random QC issue and it's not super prevalent. Most of the figures that I've gotten across all of Mattel stuff have been pretty solid. I think this is the first one I've ever gotten where the face is a little messed up. Who knows? Maybe this will go on clearance or something, and I'll pick up another one just for the dino, and then get a nice, nicely painted face figure there. Nicely painted figure face. There we go. In any case, it's a cool set. I definitely recommend checking it out. Like I said, Target has sales a lot, and I feel like these are... I don't want to say shelf warming, but they have a decent stock. So maybe on a sale or something, maybe a clearance, I can grab another one. But, you know, even if you could just get it for $20, I think it's a pretty reasonable set. The figures usually go for somewhere in the area of 8 to 10 on their own, depending on how many accessories they have. And the Raptors are usually around the same. So I feel like you're kind of getting the containment box for around $5, and I feel like that's fair. So yeah, $20 I think is reasonable. If you can find it on sale, I think it's a steal. So definitely check it out. Let me know what you guys think in the comments below. Please like, share, and subscribe. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. And as always, thanks so much for watching.